Before the mystery, before the tragedy that would leave an indelible mark on their lives, the Sodder family thrived in a home filled with love, laughter, and the everyday joys of a large family. George and Jennie Sodder, Italian immigrants who had built a life in the rolling hills of Fayetteville, West Virginia, were proud parents to 10 children in a bustling, energetic household where every corner seemed to echo with the sounds of playful chatter and sibling mischief. George was a hardworking businessman, running a successful trucking company that supported the family's needs. Jennie, the heart of the home, managed the household with care, ensuring that each child felt loved and nurtured. Together, they created a warm, lively environment where traditions were celebrated, dreams were encouraged, and every day was a testament to their unwavering devotion to one another. It was a simpler time, a happier time when the Sodders gathered around the dinner table, exchanged stories, and planned for the future. Little did they know that their tightly woven tapestry of joy would soon be torn apart, leaving behind questions that would span generations. But before the fire, before the unanswered questions, there was this: a family bound by love, rooted in hope, and unaware of the storm that was about to descend. On the night of December 24th, 1945, tragedy struck the Sodder family. George and Jennie Sodder lived with 9 of their 10 children. Their eldest son was away in the military. That night, a fire broke out in their home. George, Jennie, and 4 of their children managed to escape, but 5 of their children, Maurice 14, Martha 12, Louis 9, Jennie 8, and Betty 5, were never seen again. Despite the fire destroying their home, no remains of the 5 children were found in the ashes. Investigators were unable to determine the cause of the fire, and the lack of remains raised disturbing questions. The night of the fire was filled with odd occurrences. 1. Phone line cut. Jennie Sodder was woken by the sound of the telephone ringing in the middle of the night. When she answered, it was an unfamiliar woman asking for someone Jennie didn't know. After hanging up, Jennie noticed that the lights in the house were still on and the curtains open. Odd, as her children would have closed them before bed. Not long after, she heard a thudding sound on the roof, which was later believed to have been an explosive device. Two, failed escape attempts. George tried to rescue the missing children by re-entering the house, but the stairs to the attic were on fire. He ran outside to retrieve his ladder, but the ladder was missing. He then attempted to drive his trucks to the side of the house to climb up, but both trucks mysteriously failed to start, despite working fine earlier that day. 3. Fire department delay. Although the family frantically called for help, the fire department did not arrive until the next morning, by which time the house had been completely destroyed. The chief claimed they were short on staff and could not respond in time. After the fire, a search of the rubble yielded no bones, no teeth, or other remains of the 5 children, which puzzled investigators. The coroner's office issued 5 death certificates based on presumed death by fire, though no definitive proof was found. Later, the Sodders discovered additional suspicious details. Telephone line cut. Investigators confirmed that the phone line to the house had been cut, not damaged by the fire. Mysterious witnesses. A woman was seen watching the fire from a parked car nearby. Separately, a man was spotted stealing a block and tackle from the Sodder property on the night of the fire. Charred object found. Months later, Jennie found a charred rubber object in the yard, believed to be a type of explosive device, potentially explaining the sound she heard on the roof before the fire broke out. The Sodders became convinced that their children had not died in the fire but were kidnapped. Over the years, strange clues fueled their suspicions. Sightings of the children. Various witnesses reported seeing the missing children. A woman claimed to have seen the children with strangers at a restaurant after the fire. Another witness said they had seen the children in a car, driving away from the scene that night. The mysterious photograph. In 1968, the Sodders received a photograph in the mail of a young man who strongly resembled their missing son, Louis, as an adult. On the back of the photograph were the cryptic words, "Louis Sodder, I love brother Frankie, Illa boys," and 90,132 or 35. Despite hiring a private investigator, the Sodders were never able to trace the origin of the photo. George and Jennie never gave up searching for their children. They raised billboards along the highway with pictures of their missing children, offering a $5,000 reward, later raised to $10,000, for information leading to their whereabouts. Jennie wore black mourning clothes for the rest of her life, grieving the loss of her children and the lack of closure. George Sodder died in 1969 and Jennie in 1989. Despite their relentless efforts, they never found definitive answers about what happened to their 5 missing children. Over the years, numerous theories have emerged about the Sodder children's disappearance. 1. Accidental death cover-up. Some believe the fire was a tragic accident and that the investigation was mishandled, resulting in the children's remains being lost or destroyed in the fire. 2. Kidnapping plot. Others suggest that the children were kidnapped, perhaps in retaliation for George's outspoken criticism of Mussolini and the Italian government, as George was an Italian immigrant who had made enemies in his community. 3. Organized crime involvement. There is speculation that the children were abducted by individuals connected to the mafia or local criminals, though no solid evidence supports this. 4. Parental hoax or family secrets. A more controversial theory suggests that the Sodder family may have been involved in a cover-up, though no credible motive has ever been identified. The Sodder family tragedy remains one of the most perplexing unsolved mysteries in American history. To this day, no trace of the missing children has ever been found, and the true cause of the fire is still unknown. The family's billboard along Route 16 stood as a haunting reminder of the unsolved case until it was taken down in the 1980s. After losing 5 of their children in the tragic 1945 fire, George and Jennie Sodder's grief never faded. With no remains found and strange clues surfacing over the years, their sorrow was matched only by their determination to uncover the truth. Was it a tragic accident? Or something more sinister? The truth may never be known, leaving the mystery shrouded in conspiracy theories and unanswered questions.